We felt the fear of being oh my gosh, like it was someone I know killed, or could it be me next?
A year ago today, a gunman killed 10 people and hurt 10 more at Santa Fe High School, that's south of Houston. To mark the anniversary, tonight, local students holding a vigil. KXAN's Chris Davis spoke with the organizers, and Chris, they want our state leaders to hear their voices.
That's right, and that's why they held it outside the governor's mansion tonight, Tom. About a dozen people came out to light up LED candles and read the names of dozens of people under the age of 21 who have died from gun violence in Texas since Santa Fe. But the force behind these student organizers has been building for years.
There's probably studying to do.
So yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Finals are next week after all, but Pearl Morosky and Kylie Baber-Gonzalez say this is more important.
So right now we're just counting out the candles for the victims.
They're part of a group called the Student Empowerment Association, started in Austin last year after the shooting in Parkland, Florida.
It could happen anywhere. We're the generation of gun violence.
Pearl knows that better than most.
When you hear an elementary school in Newtown, there's 4 of them. You know, it could have so easily been us.
She was in 4th grade at a school just down the road from Sandy Hook Elementary when that shooting happened in 2012.
So those were 2 of the victims.
Some of her little sister's friends were killed. Then came Santa Fe a year ago.
We felt the fear of being oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like it was someone I know killed, or could it be me next?
Devontae Green.
The group says they didn't want to push policy at the vigil.
Dalton James Prater.
Just to remember the young men and women and kids who've been shot and killed in Texas in the last 12 months.
It symbolizes these students' memories. May they never burn brighter than now.
But they do want to see change.
We just want them to remember that we're here and we're still fighting for this, and that we want them, it's their responsibility to keep us safe.
That last candle you saw there that was still lit up, representing hope that something will change. Now, Governor Greg Abbott ordered flags to be flown at half-staff at the Capitol and in Santa Fe today. He released a statement asking all Texans to remember the victims, and he said, while prayers for those affected and remembrance of those lost will never cease, the state of Texas has resolved to do all it can to ensure a tragedy like this never occurs again.
Chris Davis reporting for us tonight. Meantime, the governor went on to say he looks forward to signing bills at the end of the legislative session to make schools safer. After the shooting, Abbott revealed a list of recommendations and changes he wants to see at the legislature. One of them is now a bill, SB 11. It would boost mental health resources in schools by adding professionals in school districts. Other ideas include training more school marshals and expanding the program. With the legislative session coming to an end, lawmakers couldn't push some bills along before deadlines, but the language of those bills could be added as amendments and could still become law. The last day of this session is a little more than a week away.